Okay, happy Friday, everyone. It's a leg day today. We have a lower body strength and conditioning session we're going to get through today. So equipment, we have a couple specific things. First thing is a towel. I'm going to be using this here retro style towel on the floor, sliding it to do some hamstring curls, to do some of our extensions. So if you guys have something like this and a tile and or hardwood or laminate floor, we are going to be using that. If you don't have any of the above, maybe you're working on carpet or something that does not slide, that's totally fine because I have options that do not require sliding. In addition to that, I'll be using the 8-pound dumbbells, my loop bands, and then I am specifically wearing shoes today because we are going to be doing some higher impact jumping around stuff at the end. Okay, so let's get it started with a warm-up, which starts with you and your body coming to the end of your mat, standing hip width apart in your feet. We're going to go soft knees, hands down to the floor, walk ourselves out into a plank. When you guys get down here, we're going to walk right back up to the top. Okay, so nothing fancy going on, but at the top when we get here, we'll reach those arms over our head. We'll bend over to one side, bend over to the other side, and then we'll come back down and do our second of 5 of those. So you guys can get started on them right now. Let's do Woo, woo, woo. We got Carly hopping in. What's up, girl? Okay, so we're starting off with these walkouts. We walk down to the bottom and then up to the top. And when we get up here, we'll bend side to side. So we'll go one side, other side, and then we'll walk back down and we'll take it through 5 of those total. Let's get it. Starting it up. Okay. And I knew this was the first one. What is the second one? Okay, so we'll go through 5 of those. Very nice. All right, so as you come to an end on that one, we're going to now turn around and so we have some room behind us on our mat, hands down by our sides. We'll step back into a lunge. As I'm going down into the lunge, I'm going to rotate at the same time, and we'll go through alternating reps, doing 20 total, 10 on each side. So we've done this one before quite often, where we lunge and then rotate. Today we're trying to do both those things at the same time. So we'll try to get those arms as straight as possible. I think about that a little bit. So will you. We'll go through 20 of them, alternating, right side, left side, 20 of them, 10 total. There it is, okay, yes. We like to wake up the brain and the body, you guys know. So we'll go through 20, and then we are headed down onto the floor for the next one. So we'll get through the lunges, and then you guys can come on down onto your hands and your knees. To our all 4 position. So we're gonna get here when you're done those lunges. Take your time with them though, because I know there's 20 of them. This next one are our hip circles. So we're going to be doing one side at a time. You can bring your toes so they're kind of gripping into the floor like so. And then we'll kick the leg and extend it back. Bring it all the way out over to the side. Lower it back to the side. And then we'll kick it all the way back. And that was 1, and we're doing 5 on this side like that, and then 5 on the other side. Now, if your mat is super flimsy and sad like mine, you might want to double it up and or grab that towel that I talked about, just to put underneath the knee of the opposite side that you're working so that you don't feel that stress. We're trying to avoid too much shifting in the hips and the body. So we'll do that on both sides, and you should feel work happening in your glutes, in your butt cheek from lifting up that leg, not so much in your lower back or any other place, mostly just in the hip and side and the back. So we'll do that on both sides. Of course, right side and then the left side, and then we got one more down here. We're gonna lay on our back for the next one. So as you come to an end, then that whole rotation is 1. Okay, so again, these ones take a little bit of time. All right, so we'll take them, we'll do them on both sides. I'll give you guys about 10 more seconds to finish them up. As you come to an end, Next one is going to be on our back, working with this dead bug. So we have a standard dead bug coming at you guys. So once you're done those hip circles, we're gonna essentially lay on our back in that same position with our shoulders and our wrists in line, our hips and our knee in line, 90 degrees at the knees. Lower back is in the floor, so we want it tight back here. And then we'll lower opposite limb, right arm, left leg, left arm, right leg, while the other two stay completely still. And that's the kicker, because they're going to want to move, but you want to keep them still. So we'll do that on both sides. Right side, we're alternating, and then left side, and we want 10 per side, 20 total. Hello. Okay, so 20 total, 10 per side of these dead bugs. And most important part here is that you are pushing your back down into the floor, and you are connecting the coordination of all of those arms and legs of yours, which can be much harder than it looks on the dead bug. The dead bug is definitely one of those ones that looks so easy and so simple. And then you get down there and your brain is just like, wait, what? So slow down a little bit if you need. We'll go through those 20, and then we are going to stand back up to the top. Stand back up. So we'll go into the last two of our warm-up. Next one's going to be a side lunge, a double side lunge actually. So we're going to come over to one side of the mat. So you guys are finishing up that dead bug. We'll be stepping out into the side lunge, shifting our weight back over to that first side, and then pushing ourselves up to the top. That was one. We are doing 10 of these total. So as I go into that side lunge, I'm trying to drive my hips back behind me, lead the way by pushing my butt back and getting a nice stretch in both of my inner thighs as I shift from side to side. So I feel the stretch, and then I shift, and then stretch, and then I push up to the top. So we'll go through 10. Little sneaky mobility. Feeling a little nice stretch going on. Should not be painful though. Should just feel like tension. There they are. Okay, so side, lunging it. Very nice, you guys. Okay, so we'll go through those. Should be finishing up. Last one is going to get into a squat stance. So I have my feet a little bit wider than my hips, toes on that slight angle out, and that is important in this one because we're going to sit down, take our elbows, and try to push our knees out to the sides, apply some pressure, and then we'll stand up and you can just relax. Keep your arms here, or you can put them down if you want, but the most important work is down here. We're applying that pressure. You're feeling an opening in your hips while keeping your chest up. You just push it out, bring it back in, and then stand up to the top. And we'll go through 10 of these total. If you don't quite have the mobility to sit all the way down, if it does not feel so good down there, what you can do is just use your hands instead of your elbows. That way you don't have to sit so low, and that's okay. So we'll go through 10. We're gonna start this thing up. Hopefully you guys are feeling warmer than when you started. All right, all right, all right. So as you are getting through 10 of those, once you are done, we're gonna grab onto our glute bands, if you guys have them. Woohoo! Because the first part of this workout today is an activation circuit for our glutes. So we have 3 exercises that we're going to work through using this band. Now, if you do not have a band, that is completely fine. If you do have a glute band, you want kind of like a medium strength one. This one is 3 of 6, so it actually is right in the middle of strength, medium to strong, and we are getting down onto our back, okay? So you guys can come join me down here when you are ready, putting your band on around your knees, so sitting right above your knee joint. So you want some space there, and then we're going to lay on our back into a bridging position. So I want to be able to feel my heels with a bit of a reach, and I want them to be a little bit wider than my hips. Lower back is being pushed into the floor, so you should feel your abs kind of working right now to push your back down. Have your hands on the floor, hands up, it's up to you. You want pressure outward on the knees, and we're going to push up and go through 10 reps total of this banded bridge. So nothing's happening, no opening, no pausing. We're trying to feel our low back touch the floor, and then we drive up the hips into that pelvic tilt so we get a very nice squeeze on our butt. And that's important to do every rep. So we'll do 10 like that, 10 of them. Okay, once you're done 10, we're gonna stay here and then push up and open once and then go through 10 like that, where we have that one opening at the top, applying a little extra pressure against the band, resetting, not allowing the knees to come any closer, and then going down, lower back touching the floor. We'll do 10 like that. So by now, you're probably starting to feel some stuff creeping up back there, feeling in your glutes. Try to work into that and try to really make that feel, okay? Try to feel every single rep, pushing up to the top, even maybe holding it and squeezing it there. And we'll go through 10. The last part of this is a hold with 10 straight abductions. So that's when we're opening up the knees. We want to go through 10 of them at the very tippity top of that bridge. So we'll push all the way up and then we'll open up against the band 10 times total. And hoo-wee, you should be feeling the back side a lot by the end of this, okay? So we'll go through 10 and then you guys are going to unband, all right? Stand yourself up and we are going to start you off. Yay! So today you guys are working with your sumo deadlifts. We're working with a standard sumo deadlift where we're in our wide sumo stance. We have dumbbells in front of us. I'm going to be using my 8-pound dumbbells, working with pushing the hips back, bending the knees into the sumo. Today, the kicker on the sumo deadlifts is that you are working off of a timer. So we're going to be spending 60 whole seconds doing these, which is a little different than what we normally do. Normally, I give you guys a rep range. Today, don't worry about how many reps you do. We're going to worry more about really tapping into like the endurance and really feeling all of the muscles in this, okay? Because this is going to be longer than we normally do it. Even 15 reps takes about 45 seconds in theory, depending on how fast you do them. So what we're going to do is just do a warm-up set right now. I want you guys to set up and do 10 reps of whatever deadlift you are going to be doing, okay? So if you're using dumbbells, bring them out, bring them out. We're gonna hold them in front of us here. I like to have my palms facing together like this so that I have room in here, whereas this, the dumbbells kind of hit my knees and it just does not feel very good, okay? And we'll go through 10 of these. This is going to be our warm-up set, all right? So weights in front of us. Hinge the hips back, we'll push them back. As soon as they're above our knees, we bend the knees, but we want the hips to sit above the knees, not sinking down like this. Okay? And then we pull up and forward and you'll feel the hamstrings, the back of the legs, and your butt working on this one. So we'll go through 10, trying to push the knees out to the sides as much as you can. Just gonna open up the hips. Oh yes, 10 of them, okay? So while you do that, I'm gonna set our timer. Woo. Okay. So you guys have 4 rounds total. Okay, so we're going to do 60 full seconds of that. So once you're done, you can put your weights down. I'm going to talk about other ways to do this, including the band, the towel, if you guys do not have dumbbells. But you have 4 rounds of this. Okay, so we are going to start with that one. We are going to also pair this with a lateral banded side step. So between each set, you guys are going to be putting on your band and doing these side steps across the length of your mat for an allocated amount of time, which is also 60 seconds, okay? So there's no rest time. This timer is simply just going to beep every minute. So I will give you guys about 10 to 15 seconds before you start, because those are the most important, okay? The side steps are kind of like the filler one that you can think of them as that. So hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, it shall as soon as we start. And we are starting in 5 seconds. So pick up your dumbbells, you guys. We are starting these deadlifts in 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. 60 seconds of them. Now, if you're working with bands, you guys only have loop bands. We can hold a band in front of us like this and work with this tension in our hands, okay? Or you can sub all together, put the band around your knees and work with a sumo squat, which is going to give you a little bit more direct work on the butt in terms of where that band is, okay? So regardless of what you're doing, we got 30 seconds left of it. So do pace yourself. This first set, you're really going to find out how you feel, okay? And then you'll have 3 more sets to kind of work into it. 15 seconds, you guys. So we'll go through about 3 more reps. Taking your time with them. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and we will put those weights down, and you can go grabbing onto your band, putting it on your ankles, right above them, right above the ankle bones, coming over to one side of the mat, and then we'll take a step wider than our hips, and then hip width. Wider, and then hip width. We never want to come closer, okay, so don't lose the tension on the band, and we're stepping side to side. You guys have 40 seconds left on this clock. And I will give you about a 10-second warning because I know that sometimes like taking on and off this band can be a whole ordeal, okay? So give you a little warning time. So if it takes you a while, you can have a bit extra time. We have 20 seconds left here. Trying to, again, push the hips back so we're feeling loaded up in the back side and the glutes. Good job, you guys. Okay, so 10 seconds left. You can unband. We're going to get ourselves ready for our second set of those deadlifts. And they start in 3, 2, 1, and here we go. So second set, no rest going on in this little combo here, okay? We will have some rest once we're done. But this little combination of the deadlifts and the side steps, we're really trying to get everything in the glutes and hips working. So when you're doing this, again, we want to first hips back, second bend the knees, third push the knees out, okay? And that's what we're following every single rep, 30 more seconds. We have that angle out in our toes to promote our knees to push out, so don't forget about that part. Nice job, okay, 10 seconds. Is it? It's warm in here now. All right, 3, 2, 1, and we'll put those down. Nice job, you guys, band up. Okay, so for those of you who do not have a band, we're simply just trying to, again, hinge our hips back, load up the hips, and do the same exact thing without the band, okay, but it is obviously a little bit more ideal with the band, a little bit of resistance, but it still works. If you're conscious, if you're thinking about it, to kind of feel loaded through those steps. 30 seconds left here. Okay, we have 2 more sets, and then we are done. Sumo deadlifts. Woo! There you go. Good job, guys. Okay, so we are here. We have 10 seconds left. Nice work. So you can unband, grab your weights, and get yourself prepared for your third set, which is literally going to start in 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Third round. So we have this one and one more. And then we are moving on. So we've started third set of those deadlifts. There it is. Good job, you guys. Halfway, 30 seconds. It's kind of nice when you don't have to count your reps. Hey. But yeah, you can feel that you're definitely doing a lot of them. We went through 2 or 3 really good ones. Okay, taking our time, especially on the way down, feeling loaded, and then trying to squeeze out of it. One more. 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Okay. So we will hustle into that band, putting it around our ankles and coming over to one side, narrower stance. And we want to hinge the hips. So we're in this athletic position to start, and you'll feel tight. And then as you go through you should feel tight the entire set. Okay, we never want to lose that feeling that you create when you push your hips back. So we'll try to hold that there. And the more you can do that, the more you get out of this. All right, so 30 seconds here. Last round coming up. Woo! This would be nice if it charged. There we go. Okay. Nice job, you guys. So we are So 10 seconds left. You can start to think about unbanding and getting ready for your last set, because it starts in 5 seconds. Okay, this is the last one of the sumo deadlifts. Get ready, get set, and let's go. Let's do it. This is it. The last set. So I'll try to work in that nice strong core, pushing the knees out to the sides. There you go. Final set of them. Okay, if you want to make this last set a little bit more challenging, take a couple more seconds to get down to the bottom. Okay, keep everything else the same. The way up, you don't have to pause. Simply just slow the way down and think about everything getting tight in the back side and the legs. And when you're at the bottom, you want to squeeze to lift up. 20 seconds. See if you can get that on a couple more of these last ones. You gotta think about it a little. There it is. 10 seconds. Okay, we're going into one final set of those hopefully side steps. And that starts in 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Okay. Put those dumbbells down. Put your band on. You guys have a whole amount of time. Okay, I'm going to give you 10 seconds at the end. We're going to do it up, side stepping our way to the finish line of this first superset. Okay, we're going to move on to the next two after this. Woo! But for the next 35 seconds, okay, we're stepping into these side steps, trying to push the knees out so that we don't have that knee caving in action. 30 seconds left. Something I have found in this one to make it a bit harder is to make sure your feet are parallel, or to even kind of point the toes together slightly, which puts the hips into a bit of a more challenging position. I like to tell you right at the end here, in case you try it. So you have 10 seconds left. It's good enough time to maintain it. Good job, you guys. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and there it is. Nice work. Okay, so we are moving on to the next part, which is not on a timer anymore. Yay. Well, not yay. You guys can grab yourself some water and walk it off. Shake it out. Hopefully you're feeling so good in the legs. We're moving on to the next part, which is going to incorporate that hamstring curl that I briefly mentioned at the very beginning, because you might need to grab your towel or set up some space on your sliding floor. So for this one, I'm just going to give you guys a little demo here so that if you need to set up, you can. I'm going to use this towel, lay on my back, woo, and work with my hamstring curl, okay, where I am either trying to keep my hips lifted maybe, okay, because today we're doing only 10 reps, or maybe I'm letting out, dropping the hips, and then pulling in to make it feel a little bit safer and easier, okay? So this is actually going to be the second exercise, okay? I just wanted to show it to you and explain it because it does take more like specific equipment than the first one. The first one's going to be our single leg deadlift to step back lunge. Woo! So we're going to get through that one, and then we're going to pair it with this hamstring curl down here. I will also be giving you guys the dumbbell demo on that hamstring, as well as the no equipment version if you don't have the towel, if you don't have the dumbbell. So before we get into this hamstring curl, stand on up, and we are going to get these single deadlift to step back lunges. Now, ideally, I want you to have weight loaded up on one side. So I'm going to take both of my dumbbells and hold them over on one side, working with standing on the opposite leg on the weight side that I'm holding the weights, softening, nice posture. We're going to go through that single leg deadlift, come all the way up, and then step back into a lunge. You guys are doing 10 of these total, okay? So the deadlift all the way up, and the lunge all the way up, that's 1. Okay, so I just done 2 total here. And so we'll go through 10 of these total, working with these, trying not to touch the floor between the deadlift and the lunge. And you can start this, okay, because this is going to be our first one. You guys do not have dumbbells. You most likely have bands. So we can anchor that band around your opposite foot and work with the same similar hold. Okay, let's get it. Single deadlift lunges. Ooh, definitely going to be some of your nemesises of an exercise because it is a burner and it hurts, but it is so good for us. And it hurts because we're combining these two, this deadlift and this lunge. So the single leg deadlift is very glute focused exercise, and the lunge is a very glute focused exercise. So when you do them together, that's why we're really starting to feel that fire brewing in our hips. So it's a good thing. All right, so try to work into it. Both sides, get them done, and then we are going to go into our hamstring curl with this one. So we'll get you guys working through that and tapping into a little bit of that balance. Yay! And then we will lay on our back and work with the hamstrings. So I briefly explained that towel version. I want to talk about the dumbbell version, which is with one dumbbell, laying up like this. Actually, might need a little bit more space. And we lay on my tummy, and then we grab this guy between our feet, and then pull up to 90 degrees. So you guys have 10 reps total. So if you're working with this one, and we're laying on our tummy, pulling our dumbbell in, what you really need to do is squeeze your feet together as hard as you can, okay? So if you are going to be doing this one, that is something that you can take into it to make that 10 feel challenging, okay? So that is our dumbbell version. Towel version, if you guys do not have any of the above, if you don't have like a floor that slides and you don't have a dumbbell to pull in, what you can do instead is our extended bridge. So I'll get into the bridge and then I'll just walk my feet away and then go up into this bridge. And it's not quite the same work on the hamstrings, but it will give you work back here if you do not have the other options, okay? So, woo, let's get it. Let the sunshine coming through. I swear it's at the same time. 10 of those down there that landed. And then we are going to stand on up and take a little water break, okay? So, yay, you do get a little bit of rest before you go into your next 3 sets, okay? Because we're going to go through 3 more in addition to that one you just did to make it 4 total. But before we do that, grab some water, you guys. Walk it off, shake it out, think about how you feel. We'll take about 30 to 45 seconds. Keep it under a minute, okay, or just about a minute, and then we will do it again. Because the combination that we're doing here is very hamstring, but focused. So we're gonna allow those guys to have a little bit of time before we start our next set. Whew, okay, so you probably feel like I've distracted you a little bit. If you're feeling ready, you guys can go into set number 2, starting back with that first one in that single deadlift to reverse lunge. So if you guys are not working with any weights, and this also does apply if you are working with weights or bands, channeling that skater squat energy on that reverse lunge is a really easy way. It's not easy, but it's a very simple way to make this feel a lot more challenging. Now you're doing 10, okay? So you're most likely gonna burn regardless, but if you get to the end, you probably feel like you keep going. I don't want that. I want you only to be able to get 10. So if you need to make them harder, you can think more about these skater squats on those lunges where we're not like pushing ourselves up with that back foot, and we're more so pulling ourselves up at the front. See if we can do that here in this next set. Get it. There it is. So we'll work this on both sides. You guys got it going on. 10 and 10. Good job. So nice strong core, holding that weight, that resistance, whatever it is. Good work, you guys. Oh, yes. 10 of them. They burn. It's like, yes, the sneaky 20 again. Oh, here we are again. All right, so we'll get through this. We'll try to keep it even on both sides. There you go. Good job, guys. Okay, so we'll do that second round. Get them done, and then work with those hamstring curls. for our second set. Okay, good job, guys. Okay, so 10 and 10 up there, and we're getting down here. The thing about the hamstrings is they're very underutilized muscles, and they tend to get very tight, and they tend to be more weak than other muscles. So that's why I'm always kind of talking about safety whenever we work our hamstrings and we do hamstring curls. Most importantly, that you're not feeling that like sharp, pinchy, like snappy feeling through the hamstrings when you're doing these exercises. Specifically this one, where we're laying on our back and we're doing this curl. Okay, we've been gearing up for this one. We started with doing the negatives, where we push up and we let our feet out, and then we drop our hips down, okay? But to get, progress things and to get stronger, we have to make them harder. And so to make this harder, we eventually do it without our butt touching the floor at all. But if you try and do that and it does not feel good, okay, then maybe you want to work on the negative one where we push up, and then just really be slow on letting up. Because the more you can resist, the more you're going to work those guys, and then you can drop down. And then eventually, you might be able to do this now and pull back in. But I just wanted to give us another disclaimer on that one, that you just got to be careful more than anything else, okay? Because I know I showed you that one with the butt up, and I just want to let you guys know, watch out for this else. Okay, so 10 of them, and then we rest, which you're already doing. Oh, and it feels so nice after these. You have 2 more sets of these 2. This sun is totally like changing the lighting here. There's no blinds on that window either. But it's okay. All right, so let's get her done, you guys. 3rd round of these ones. We have our single deadlift to lunge. So again, we're standing on opposite leg that we are holding the weight. And if you need a reminder on that, if you look down, the weight should just sit in this little hole here, okay? If it's kind of on the outside here, you probably know that it's on the wrong side. It should be in this little box. And then when you step up, you can go through the lunge, and we're standing on the opposite side. And that's where we're getting that core work. I'm holding on the same side. You're still going to work your core, okay? But not in that opposite fashion. I'm holding it on this side here. So that's why we're holding it over there specifically. And that goes for the band as well, all right? Let's do 3rd set. Doing it up. There we go. Let's get it. Let's go, guys. Okay. So do it on both sides. Trying to make it even as possible. There we are. Okay. So we're working with strong arm. That's not holding the weight. Dumbbells, band. A strong core the entire time. Pulling our belly button in. There you go. Okay, and I know, woo, this one is a tedious one. It takes a while. But you're gonna feel good once you're done them. Okay, you got one more round after this one to get it in. There it is. Okay, so single leg deadlifts, getting a little bit of that balance action. So remember that. We're going to be trying our best not to touch the floor between those reps. Okay, the lunges, of course, we can touch the floor. But between them, we'll try to keep that foot hovering as best as we can. Easier said than done. Okay. Hamstrings. And we have our final round. The last set. All right, 10 of them down there. Woo, not too bad. Not too bad. And we want to make the 10 feel hard. Squeezing the dumbbells, we're squeezing your feet together, trying to get through the 10. We have one final set, you guys. So take a little bit of rest, grab some water, take a few deep breaths. We are pretty good for time. We have about 3 minutes until we should be starting the final part of our leg strength, which is going to take us to the final part of the workout, the conditioning, which is a short and spicy one today, which is probably good news. It's always nice when they're short. I don't want to say sweet though, short and spicy. Okay, so when you're feeling ready, once you've grabbed some H2O, get your dumbbells, get your weights, and let's do our final set here, okay? This is the last set of these ones, these deadlift to lunges. So we'll really try to think about feeling this in the right place, which I probably don't need to say, but if you're not feeling it, that standing glute is the working leg, and that's where we should be feeling it on both of these, okay? If you want to feel it a little bit more, just think about it more, and on that lunge, you can slightly lean forward a little bit more, stick your butt out, and see if that helps you get a bit more feeling. This is your last set, on your last round, on your last leg day of the week. Woo, last workout of the week, all the lasts. Okay, so let's get her done. Do another. And we're going back on the timer. Woo. There we go, last set, 10 and 10. Okay, so deadlift and lunge is 1, and you are doing 10 of those per side. And I am setting our timer. So it is different than that last part. Okay. Perfect. Good job, you guys. This is the final set. So we'll finish it up strong. I'm going to give you 2 more minutes to do it. This one and those hamstrings, which are a little quicker, which is good news. And then we have our last 2 strength exercises coming up after this. Done in a superset. We have the little conditioning circuit at the end. And we're done. Such good news. Okay, so get down there. Do your hamstring curls. Your final set of them, 10 of them. Okay, so let's really try to feel it in those hamstrings. Take your time. Do whatever you got to do. Maybe go a little slower because you have time. A full minute, and that is lots of time to get 10 reps in. Okay, you just did all those deadlifts in a minute. You know you got way more than 10. Okay, so take your time with them. And once you guys are finishing up, you can grab yourself some water, and we'll just wait for these guys to finish. Some of us are a little quicker than others. Okay, nice job, you guys. So I am just figuring out why this charger is not charging. I think this extension cord is no bueno. Okay, but that's okay. We are going to make it. We have 50%. We're good. So for the last part of our strength for the legs, you guys have 2 exercises that we are going to be combining together. First one is a single-sided exercise, and then we have a double-sided exercise, and we're going to do 3 sets only total. You guys are going to be working off of a timer, yay, and we're going to be switching with no rest in between. Okay, so the timer's going to beep, and you are going to switch. There's no allocated time for you to just kind of like rest and drink water and all that. We will have lots of time to do that when we are done this workout, okay, both these last parts. So the timer's going to beep every 60 seconds. We have a wall sit that we're going to hold for a minute, and then a single leg calf raise. So we're going to do 30 seconds on one side and then 30 seconds on the other side, okay? So we're going to start off with the calf raise, so you guys can get yourself ready for that. I ideally like to hold on to something so I don't have to worry about balance, because that's not the focus on this one. And then I'm going to give you guys the option to do that hip abduction if you want more work in the side of your hip, okay? So then we would hold that out as we do this calf raise, okay? And I mean, you can try it. Okay, you're going to get work in the hip. It's kind of a 2-for-1. I'm going to start this timer though, and you're going to do it up, all right? Starting in 3, 2, 1, let's go. All right, so single leg calf raise. We're doing all one side, and with the option for you to reach that leg out and hold it out there. Okay, it's going to stay out while you do that calf raise. And I actually have to turn to the wall while I do this for balance reasons. Okay, and then we'll go through in 30 seconds, which you have 10 seconds left of. Not too bad. All right, and we will switch sides. So right away, we'll switch and do the same exact thing on the other side, okay? And remember that with that hip abduction, we want to be holding, and the bigger it is, the harder. So you don't have to like lift all the way up. Even just a little opening will influence it. All right, 15 seconds. 10 now, let's go. Okay, so once you guys are done this, when this timer beeps, we're gonna hustle our butts right into a wall sit in 3, 2, 1, and here we go. If you do not have a wall to sit against, you are simply holding a squat hold, because I know you have that, because you got your body. And we're gonna hang out here for 60 seconds. Now, some of us might be getting pretty good at wall sits. We've been practicing these, we've been working on these, so if you wanna make them a bit harder, lifting both of our toes at the same time does that, or extending the legs one at a time. Those are 2 options on things that you can do to make this feel more challenging, okay? Because by the end of it, you should be like really needing to stop, all right? You're probably starting to feel that way already, but some of you might, you know, be wanting a challenge. Things you can try. 20 seconds left. So we have 2 more sets, and then we are doing our last part. 10 seconds. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and pull yourself off the wall, and we'll go right into our second set of that calf raise. So we're working with, again, 30 seconds over here. Trying to see if we can lift up that leg. Oh, it's way harder than it looks. Yep. There we go. Okay, a few more, 5 more seconds here. 3, 2, and we will switch sides. Okay, other side, same thing. Whatever you just did on that first side, we need it over here. Here we go. 15 seconds. Keep that leg up. Oh, I know it's starting to catch up to you. Switch to the second side. It's yes. I know. Okay, but you're almost there and almost in a wall sit. In 3, 2, 1, and hustling into that wall sit or squat hold, whatever you guys are doing. If you don't have a wall that you'd like to sit against, that you're okay sitting against with your sweaty back, then we'll just hold that wall sit instead for 45 more seconds. Maybe 1 more set, and then we're doing the last part. Halfway, 30 seconds. Let's go. So we'll breathe through this. Okay, almost there, you guys. We'll take 4 more deep breaths. Slow ones. You will be ready at 10 seconds. We're going to get ourselves right up and into the final round of that single leg calf raise. And here we go. This is it, the last set. Okay. So we'll finish strong here. 30 seconds per side. See if you can work that abduction and that opening of the hip. Work the muscles on the sides of your hips, which are really small, typically weak muscles. These simply just don't work that much, and they're not that big. So that's why this burns so much. Okay, but switch sides. Good job, you guys. Other side. All right. This is at home. Stretch my friends. 20 seconds on this one, right here. Wall sits, right there. And then the last part. 10 seconds. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, and wall sits, the finish line. Okay, final set, 60 seconds. Holding this sit, and then we are rested. Then we start the final part, which, yes, the perfect amount of time. All right, 30 seconds. You guys are halfway. You got this. Even though it might not feel like you do have it, you do. Just try to breathe. Take some calming breaths. Those are the ones that we send the air kind of deeper, not just into our chest, but we're trying to send that air into our belly, deep into our lungs. 15 seconds left. Okay, so just get them in. It's gonna help you stay here with us until the timer goes off in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and time. Good job, you guys. You are done that part. Okay, so we are going to walk it off, grab ourselves some water, and get ourselves mentally prepared for our final part, which takes us about 10 minutes. Woo! So, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this is going to be a very intense 10 minutes. Like I said, it is short and spicy. What we're going to be working with are 4 different exercises. There's pretty much no rest, although 2 of these exercises are a little bit easier. And so if you really are like not going to make it through this entire 10 minutes, you can consider these kind of shorter rounds as rest and just do them a bit slower. I still want you to do the exercise, okay? But if you are needing rest, you can simply just slow them down so that you can kind of recover slightly on those ones, okay? Or really on it. We'll talk about that as we go. So what's going to happen? This timer right here is going to beep every 30 seconds, okay? So you guys are going to be spending 30 seconds on each exercise. We have 4 of them that we're going to do, and we're cycling between them 5 sets total. So we're really just going to be going for 10 whole minutes, and then we are going to be done. Okay, we're going to be all hot and heavy, feeling amazing this today, the rest of the day, and the weekend, but we're really going to have to push ourselves right now. So let's set up for this. We will need some space, as well as I am going to be using some reference points on the floor. We're going to be working with our quick feet for 2 of these exercises. The first one, I'm going to use my my long band here, and this is not something that you have to use. I just like to use it. The first one is going to be our high knees through there, like this, side to side, okay? So that is the banded one here. And then we have the second one, which is our fast feet like this, okay? So those are the 2 exercises that you'll need equipment for. That's not necessarily the order that we're doing the circuit, but I just wanted to show you that so that you can grab something. If you want to use a band, you can use 2 loop bands, or you can use nothing at all, okay? If you don't have anything, you don't have to put anything down on the floor. But I'm going to use my orange band that I just threw across the room. Okay, so that is those 2. Now, I'm going to explain this a little bit better because I just kind of threw those random ones in there because I wanted you to get your equipment. Also, sorry, I'm just sitting on a timer here. So starting off, you guys have squat jumps. Welcome, okay? So we're going to be doing 30 seconds of squat jumps. Going right from those squat jumps, the timer is going to beep, and we're going to go into those lateral high knees, these ones here, okay? Where we're going through like this, okay? And then after, we have lunge jumps. So I'll just kind of come in front and then work with our lunge jumps, okay? Quick feet, okay? So 30 seconds on all 4 of those. If that was like a lot of information, you kind of lost any of them, that's totally fine, okay? We have 5 sets we're gonna do. We're gonna start right now so that we can get her done, okay? Are you guys ready? As ready as you are, probably ever going to be? Okay, sounds great. So we're starting with squat jumps. If you do not squat, you're simply just squat onto the toes. In 3, 2, 1, let's go, okay? So squat jumps, we're working 30 seconds of these squat jumps. Standard ones, if you wanna switch them up a bit, make them a bit interesting, you can do our heel tap squat jumps or our 180-degree squat jumps. Okay, let's do it. Squat jump in. 10 seconds, you guys. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, and right into that second one, which are our lateral high knees. So I'm trying to move my hands, move my feet, and if I don't have a band, I'm just imagining those lines. And if I'm low impact, I'm simply just not jumping, stepping, or you can march. Okay, if you want that high knee action. Let's go, 10 seconds. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, and now we have lunge jumps. Okay, so same thing if you do not jump, you are going to just lunge, all right? Stepping back into your lunges, right and left. 15 seconds, you guys. Woo! Let's go. Let's do it. Pushing through it. It's kind of like just the perfect amount of time to do those. And last one, which is our in and out quick feet. So I'm trying to move my feet in and out as fast as I can. Eventually working quicker than I want to go. So quick that I'm super uncomfortable and actually need to stop. Okay, but 15 seconds until you can. So let's keep pushing, keep going. So this is the kicker, you guys. We're going right into our next set. Once this timer goes off, we are back to those squat jumps in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Okay, second set. Oh yes, this is not a drill. Okay, we're gonna get through this. Takes 10 minutes. You're already 2 in, so we have 8 left. I know that sounds quite daunting, but you're gonna feel so amazing once you're done this. Okay, and it's not important that you do the full-on 180-degree squat jumps. You can just do whatever works for you, whatever you can maintain in this amount of time. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and bring it on over. Let's go. Okay, so we'll work through this one. You can work through a steady pace. If you want to work more on your intensity, we can try to get from one side to the other a little bit faster. Okay, but you got 10 seconds left. Yep. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, and lunge jumps. Let's do it. Lunge jumping our way through this round. So I think these are the hardest lunge jumps. Okay, so just breathe through them, get through them. Know that they're the hardest. You have 10 seconds left. I'll try to get through at least 2 or 3 more. Yep, let's go. Exhale, jump it up. 3, 2, 1, and final one for our second set. Quick feet, let's go. So we're trying to move our feet. Get your whole body shaken. Okay, if it's not shaking, you're not moving fast enough. So let's go. 15 seconds. Move those feet. There it is. And the arms too. Bring them with you. Let's go. 10 seconds. Oh, yes. All right, third set, you guys. And here we go. Let's do it right into it. Third round. Okay, let's go. Right into those squat jumps. The thing about this circuit here is these 30-second rounds. They're like short, but like you can maintain them much better than the 40 seconds or the minute long. 10 seconds left, okay? But remember, for this whole entire workout, what we got left, just don't stop, okay? Just keep doing something. Nice work. Okay, even if it's just stepping, okay? Even if you're not jumping, maybe you're not working the quickest you can, it's still better than you stopping altogether. So keep it moving, and remember that in the next 2 rounds, we can get some more of you. 10 seconds. There it is. Side to side. 3, 2, 1. Lunge jumps. Let's go. Okay, so we're working with these lunges, lunge jumps. The version you are doing. Trying to do it up strong. For 15 more seconds. Land soft. go, let's go. 3, 2, 1, and with feet. Nice job, you guys. Let's do it. Let's move those feet in and out as quickly as we can. Oh yeah. 10 seconds left right now. Okay, so pick it up a little bit more. You might surprise yourself a little bit faster. 3, 2, 1, and set number 4, let's go. Squat jumps. Let's do it. 2 more rounds. Okay, and I'm not gonna lie, the last 2 sets are always the hardest. Okay, they're always the sets where you don't want to do them. Your body and your mind does not want to do them. But that's why it is even more so important that you do them. You do them strong as you can. Okay, 10 more seconds. Pick it up if you can. There you go. Use that exhale when you're struggling. Breathe out. 3, 2, 1, and high knees. Good job, you guys. So we'll work with these lateral quick feet. And bring your knees up like you 15 seconds. We are more than halfway through the circuit. Almost done it, actually. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Drop, guys. Lunge jumps. Let's go. Right away. Jumping lunges. Do it. Come on. Okay. So we'll just simply pace ourselves on these. Okay, but you got 10 seconds left. So don't leave anything left in the tank. Try to use it all. And give them a round. 3, 2, 1, and fast feet. Let's go in and out of that band, of those lines, of the nothing, the imaginary lines. Okay, 28 seconds. So go as hard as you can. So yeah, eventually we will try to add those arms in so that they can move with your feet. But if that completely messes you up, just worry about your feet right now. 10 seconds. You need to really worry about your feet. Move them faster. Let's go. Okay, last round starting in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Final set. Let's do it. Last round, you guys. The most important one. All right? So let's give it all we got. It's Friday. We got the weekend coming up. Lots of days to recover and feel amazing because we knew that we pushed ourselves so hard right now in this workout. 10 seconds left. Come on. We need 2 more. Exhale, jump it up. 3, 2, 1, and bring it on over. Let's go. So we'll try to move those feet, those arms with more intensity. We're just trying to move everything a bit faster than we did on the last set, on the last rep. 10 seconds. Three, 2, 1, and lunge jumps. Let's go. Okay, don't miss any time on these. Let's get going right into them. Okay, we got 25 seconds left, which is a long time, it seems, to do these. But just try to breathe again. That exhale will help you. If you exhale when you jump, you might just be able to keep going more than if you didn't. 10 seconds left. So close, guys. Don't stop. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come on over and do your fast feet. Last set. 20 more seconds, as quickly as you can go. Okay, all of it. We want you shaking your body, shaking your house. Let's go. 10 seconds left, you guys. Come on now. Do it as strong as you can for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you are so very done. Good job, guys. So we are resting now, finally, and for the very last time. And that is what you need to do right now is just rest and recover. So you are going to take the next couple minutes to yourself to just breathe and walk around your room maybe and drink water and do things to calm yourself down, like taking deep breaths, and all of those other things that I just mentioned, okay? That's you, because you're probably feeling very hot and heavy after doing that, because that was intense, and you are amazing for doing that, so good job. And hopefully you feel good, and if you don't, you will after a bit, after you recover, after maybe you shower and eat and all that. But I am going to leave you guys with a couple of stretches that I would recommend that you do. I don't want you to do them yet, okay? I want you to rest. I want you to feel more like a human being that could have a conversation if you had to. Once you feel okay, you can do these stretches, but until then, just keep walking it off and keep reading. Just listen, okay? Do them on your own time, because I'm not going to hold them with you today. I'm just going to show them to you. First one, hip flexors. You probably saw that coming. Okay, so the hip flexor stretch is very important one, hence why we do it so much, but especially because we did a lot of stuff today to work our hips and the hip flexors in the front. So we will take some time to stretch these guys out. You can do it in this half kneeling position that we know and love and do quite often. Gives us a nice stretch in the hip. Or I've oftentimes talked about this standing version that you can do as well to open up the hips, okay? So that is really important that you guys open up and stretch out your hips. The other thing that we want to focus our stretching on is the back side, the glutes and the low back. So what you can do is your glute-focused stretch, where we find something to put our foot up against, like a wall, or in this case, a bookshelf, and then I'll hold this stretch here. And for both of these, the hip and this is hip to the front of the hip and the back of the hip, we want to hold these for at least 60 seconds, okay? So I'm going to stop this video in about a minute here. You are going to set your timer and actually time yourself for these stretches, or if you have a clock or something, and hold them for 60 seconds and get in at least one set, okay? But know that more than one set would help you guys. Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you, Carly, for joining me in the Zoom room. Woo! And if you guys watched the replay, please drop a comment so I know you were here. Hopefully you guys have a great day and a great weekend, and I hope to see you guys on Monday. Bye.